Hey guys, Aaron Radcliffe here, and welcome to nomadsnation.com, your number one resource for all things nomad lifestyle, but most importantly, your number one resource for badass, epic, massive, insane backpack reviews. In today's backpack review, we're gonna take a look at the Boundary Supply Prima System. Hardcore backpack nerd, so I'm gonna show you everything you need to know about this backpack. So that means we're gonna take this pack through the streets of Ho Chi Minh City. We're based in Vietnam right now, so you can see the way that the pack looks, it feels, and it functions in an urban environment. So we're gonna talk about the front of the pack, the middle of the pack, the back of the pack, the whole thing, so you can decide if this is the pack for you. At the end of the video, if this pack is not the pack for you, I'll make a specific recommendation for what pack I think is best for you. And finally, guys, you know how this YouTube game works. If you're enjoying the video, please hit the like button, consider subscribing, because it just helps us know that we're doing a great job, and the better job we know that we're doing, the more awesome backpack reviews we'll make. All right, guys, let's jump into it. All right, guys, we got a lot to cover, so let's jump into the specs of the Boundary Supply Prima System. First off, I want to talk about the price points. This thing will cost you anywhere from $220 to $230. Now, note, I've actually seen it for as cheap as $190 and as high as $250, I think. The reason being is that Boundary Supply is a newer company, so I think they're still trying to figure out their price point. But more or less, expect to spend around $220 to $230 US, which is really a steal for this guy. The next specs that I want to talk about is the actual size, okay? So the Boundary Supply Prima System is a 31-liter backpack. 31 liters is an interesting size because it's going to be one of two things for you. Either A, it's going to be a day pack that's a little on the bigger side that can handle a ton of stuff, or B, it's going to be a travel pack for like weekend trips. 31 liters is not going to be big enough to travel around the world with. You're going to want something 40 liters plus. But also, if you're looking for just sort of an every carry, sort of simple day-to-day sort of backpack, this might be way too big for you. Boris, hop on! Let's chat about the style of the Boundary Supply Prima System. First up, let's talk about the color options. You have a black on black on black option, a gray with the black components, or you have what we opted with is the brown version. Now, the reason that I went with brown is because I thought that it was really unique. There's not a lot of brown backpacks out there. Gray is common, black is common, brown ain't very common. And also, just on a personal level, I've always thought that the combination of black and brown is sexy. Like, see somebody with like a brown suit with some nice black accents, classy as f. That's why I got this guy. But the brown color, to me, it's got like super Indiana Jones vibes to it. If you don't know what I'm saying, just like look at it. It kind of looks like an old school like American satchel that you would take on an adventure while fighting the Nazis, you know, with like your stash of gold or some hidden treasure or something at the bottom. That's the kind of vibe that I get from the Boundary Supply Prima System. I think that the brown really adds to that sort of Indiana Jones vibe. Where the brown has a little bit more of a classier, timeless look, the black and the gray have a little bit more of a modern look to it. Like I said, it's gonna come down to your personal preference, so it's whatever you think, but if I could turn back the clock, I might go with the gray or the black instead. Next up, let's chat about the way that the pack feels. There's a lot to kind of talk about with the feel. How do the materials feel? What's the overall comfort? First off, materials. This exterior material is made from 500D Codra that is mixed with nylon. Don't worry, I don't know what that means either. What I can tell you is that it's durable and that it's super light. But I kind of find them a bit boring. And what I mean by that though is that like this feels like the same exact materials that you would find on any pack that you would have worn in high school. And the materials, these external materials don't really tell a story. Think about some of the competitors. You've got Peak Design, which uses 100% recycled external materials. Or think about the Tortuga Outbreaker materials, which come from the sails from a sailcloth. All of those materials are unique and have their own story. And these materials just don't really have that. They're still great materials, they're still quality, and they look really nice, but it just kind of lacks that little bit of extra oomph that I usually like in my materials. As for the interior materials, I like them a little bit more. They're a little bit more memorable, they're fun to play with, fun to interact with, they're really good. As for the feel of the zippers, take a look at these guys. I love these zippers. They're all super durable YKK zippers. They open smoothly. Every single zipper on this backpack is just, it's a delight to open and close. And finally, the most important part of the way the pack feels is its overall comfort. Like, how is it on the back? And honestly, this pack feels great, which it should at the price point. But there's one thing I want you to be aware of, and that's its firmness. Think of it like a mattress, okay? Not everybody likes a super cushiony mattress. Some people like, that military firm bed. If that's you, then this is that kind of a style as to where it's still comfortable, it's just got a firmness to it. All right, let's move on to the next spot. Front time. First thing that I want to point out is one of the most important things about the Boundary Supply Prima system in general, and that's these fidlocks right here. I am in love with these things. If you've watched my backpack reviews, you know that I love magnets, and you know that I love a cool, kind of creative, innovative, fun way to open the main compartment at the back, and this checks all of those boxes. Briefly, Fidlock is a company that makes like magnet things. It's like on their business card, it says, hey, we're Fidlock and we make magnet things. Their magnet things are really good. The reason why I get so excited about stuff like this is, think about it, you're interacting with this backpack on a day-to-day basis, and you're gonna open this main compartment 16 kajillion times. And every time you do you want it to be like some boring like Velcro, you're just like, and it just opens up? Or do you want it to be like this awesome Fidlock system where you just go ahead and clip it in and you go ahead and bam, pop? Do you see that? Probably right there with the Peak Design everyday backpack, it has the mag latch. These Fidlocks are tied for my favorite opening and closing system for a main compartment on a backpack I've ever seen. No, I take it back. This is my favorite. I could just do this all day. I could do this in my sleep. Look at how much fun this is. Next up on the front is this pocket right here, which I refer to as a quick access pocket. Look inside and we have a lot of storage in there. So this is an ideal pocket for like your phone or your sunglasses, especially in this little crevice, because it's a soft linen. This means that any of your items that are fragile and can get scratched can be put in there and they'll rest in there soundly and be scratch free. This is also closed by a nifty magnet, which I love. Onto the main compartment, we yet again have an awesome magnet. This is also a magnetic solution, and it's a magnetic key holder. So you got your keys right there, pop your keys in there, you just slide it on out, and slide it back in. This is also one of my favorite key holders on the market, because the whole point of a key holder is going up the stairs to your apartment, you unzip, you want to grab your keys out, unlock your door, and this magnetic solution gives you that seamlessness with that interaction. I mean, the whole point is you just take it out, you unlock your door, you pop it right back in, seamlessness. It's kind of shocking, but like very few backpacks actually do well with the key ring holder. The Boundary Supply doesn't just do well, it nails it. This whole pocket in general is one of the best things about the Boundary Supply Prima system. I love it. They nailed it. It's perfect. Actually, no, not perfect. One thing that you will come across, one problem, is that because you have a magnet, that you're gonna see that your keys will get stuck on this magnet. It can be a little annoying, but moreover less, the pros outweigh the cons, and the entire feature works as a whole very well. This is really interesting, and I wanna bring this up because I'm a nerd, and it's the only reason why, but this backpack has shown me something that I didn't think was possible. Dangle that I like. Normally I am dangle hater number one. I should get a tattoo that says like dangle hater, because dangle is just annoying when it's just annoying. But this is the only situation that I've seen where I actually enjoy a little bit of dangle. It kind of adds to the aesthetic of it. I've looked at it like without and with the dangle, and I actually like a little bit of dangle. So you've shown me the light, Boundary Supply. Thank you so much. And then finally, the last thing to take into consideration is this middle zipper. If you look at it, the way the brown clashes with the black, it's waterproof. It has that waterproof lining right there, and it's just this sleek sort of like spine right down the middle. This adds a lot to the overall look of the pack, and if you don't like it, then I definitely recommend looking at the black on black on black version, because then it'll be less noticeable. But if you do like it, I think it's really, really cool on both the gray and the brown versions. Talk about the middle of the pack. First off, I want to talk about the water bottle holder. Now, you're in motion, you're traveling around, you want your water bottle holder to be two things. You want it to be a good size and you want it to be accessible. both of which the Boundary Supply Prima System nails. The water bottle holder is right there. You can easily pack and unpack your water bottle. This is a 500 milliliter, so if you're looking for a solution for a larger water bottle, this is not gonna make the cut. But if it is a little thicker, you'll be pleased to know there's some elasticity, so it can fit a thicker water bottle in general. Also, I'm a big fan of only one water bottle holder. You'll see you've got one right here, nothing on the other side, so there's no unnecessary features or use of space, which is unnecessary. It works really well. Next up is behind the water bottle, we have a hidden sort of pocket. It's a water-resistant zipper, so as you can see, it's got the water-resistant lining right there. This pocket is intended to be like a phone charging sort of station, and the reason is if you look right here, bring it in close, you can see there's a little side hole so you charge your phone. So imagine you're a portable charger in there, pop your wire through here, and you can keep your cell phone in the water bucket holder for quick access. So to be honest, I like the idea of this feature. I like it in principle, but I've never actually used it once. Next up is this compression strap. Now, a lot of packs this size will have 1, 2, 3, 4 compression straps. I love this because the Boundary Supply said, f that, let's just keep things simple and only put one. And my favorite part about this compression strap is if you're like, hey, bro, don't need you, you can just go ahead and tuck it in this little space right there, and bada bing, bada boom, it's gone. It's like magic. That's some David Blaine shit right there. Now, Boundary Supply, just like Peak Design and Wandered, they make travel gear that is technically designed for photographers. When you see backpacks like this with this sort of side panel access, this is for somebody who is a photographer who has a ton of DSLR gear. This gives you quick access to lenses, to tripods, to whatever sort of DSLR gear that you need. But even though a photographer would technically get the most bang for their buck out of this backpack, it's not to say that this side panel access isn't still awesome. This just gives you quick side access to anything that's at the bottom of your pack, which is great, especially if the top is super packed. In this side panel, we also have a badass sort of secret pocket. Now this pocket is RFID and they call it the safe house. RFID refers to chip technology, and they call it a safe house because there's actually a lining in this pocket to keep that chip technology safe. Reason being is that actually, so check it out, like your passport, US passports, there's actually a chip in this bad boy. And that chip, unfortunately, is very easy to hack. And a hacker can easily get this information, but thank God, Boundary Supply gave you this pocket which is lined with a safety mechanism, which means that your passport and your credit cards also, anything with that sort of chip technology is safe and sound. Now, still sticking with this pocket, we have what Boundary Supply refers to as the Verge case. See how it connects right here? This is a little dream for a photographer. All you do is you pop this guy out and boom, the Verge case. Is awesome for photographers with DSLR gear. There's a little flex divider, okay, that you can go ahead just to kind of keep things separated. You have little stash pockets for like SD cards. It's perfect for batteries. It's perfect for your lenses. This is a DSLR like photographer's dream feature. And check it out on the bottom. Let's say you have like a super long lens. You go ahead, you unzip this from the bottom and you have, boom, additional storage space for those 7-inch, 9-inch, 12-inch lenses, however big your lens is. Guys, it's not about the size of the lens, it's about the quality of the lens. And if you check out the top, we've got an additional pocket right there just for additional storage. Overall, my thoughts on the Verge case are a little, truth be told, I don't need it and I've never used it. I just wish that there was an option to like check it like yes, I want the Verge case, or no, I don't want the Verge case. Unfortunately, there is no option, so I've got the Verge case and I do absolutely nothing with it. But it's still cool for photographers. Next up, let's open these amazing fidlocks. Wait for it. It's always a pleasure. And get into the main compartment. This thing is huge, okay? Now you have to understand, this is actually a 31-liter backpack, but if you want, you can actually extend these fidlocks to go higher and higher and higher, therefore increasing the capacity of this backpack. I think at its biggest, it's 36 liters. When you open up the main compartment, you can see that it's huge, it can fit a ton of stuff. Like I said, this is better for a day pack, but it's big enough as to where if you want to take this for a weekend trip, it can definitely fit enough shit. Boundary Supply kept the main compartment fairly simple. We just have an elastic pocket on the left-hand side, an elastic pocket lining the back, and then a zipper pocket on the right-hand side. And guys, that's really all there is to this main compartment.
I'm a really big fan of its capacity. I'm a really big fan of its simplicity. It's a big 31 liters. Like, you can fit a lot of stuff in here. Next up for the middle, let's talk about the laptop tech compartment. Now, normally we talk about this on the back, but Boundary Supply has put theirs in the middle section, so we'll cover it now. First thing I want to cover is the Fieldspace. What is the Fieldspace, might you ask? It is this guy right here. So similar to the Verge case, Boundary Supply has given you an additional thingy-majogger for people who are using this backpack for work reasons. So notice right here, I have my Bluetooth keyboard that I keep in there. On the inside section, I have a notebook that I keep in there. You've got pen holders. These are good for chargers or for headphones. Guys, I gotta tell you, I absolutely love this thing. I love it so much. I adore this thing. Like, it helped organize my work life so much. Like, anytime that I access my laptop compartment, I just get this guy out, and then all of a sudden, I have everything that I need right there. And it's all next to my laptop, which makes it even better. Check out here with the Fieldspace 2, Boundary Supply really went ham with the magnets here, guys. And right here you can see it just kind of slides and clips right in via a magnet, gives it a little bit extra oomph to make sure that it's nice and secure. I am absolutely in love with this Fieldspace. It's just so cool. And then behind the Fieldspace, we have the actual laptop compartment. Super spacious, yet sturdy, because you want your laptop to feel secure. You want it to feel safe in there, like it's not gonna be moving around. And it also is made of a really nice material, and it feels secure, and it's big, and it's comfortable, and I'm in love with the whole thing. So this main compartment in general, guys, with all of its extra capacity and the pockets and the side access and its thoughtful design, and then the Verge case, especially if you're a photographer, and then this Fieldspace and the entire work section is why this is probably a top 3 backpack I've ever seen in my life. If you are a digital nomad or a photographer and looking for a backpack that really can take that functionality to the next level, then it does not get any better than this. Okay, last part, back of the pack. Let's start with the actual back panel. It is comfortable in a way that it's not super cushiony, but in a way that it's very firm. Back panels really just need to do 2 things, guys. They need to be comfortable, and they need to provide ventilation, both of which this back panel perfectly accomplishes. Up next, shoulder straps. Now, typically the back panel and the shoulder straps are like brother and sister, and that's especially true of the Boundary Supply Prima system. Yet again, you've got comfortable shoulder straps, but comfort in a way that is a lot more firm than it is cushiony. They feel comfortable, they feel durable. I like them a lot. And what's also great about them is, like I said, I'm a Mr. Dangle hater. They minimize the dangle experience as much as possible. You have excess nylon container right there, which kind of holds the bottom dangle strap into place. Okay, pop that all the way down. And then same thing up here, you've got these guys, these little elastic guys, to help keep the excess nylon from the top in its place. Know your place, Dangle. Also worth noting is that there's sort of like a suspension system right here. This is gonna help take some of the weight off your back and put it more onto your shoulders to kind of help with the overall comfort of the pack. Up next is the sternum strap. Now here is something that I never thought that I would say, and I don't like the magnets on this. What? Who is he? This magnet sternum strap is okay. It doesn't really see that? It's a perfect example right there. It kind of is a little weak sauce sometimes. It doesn't really click in the way that you'd hope it would, like with that little, power. You want your magnets to be like, I'm a magnet. But this is like, I'm a magnet, But it does okay. The sternum strap is removable, so if you're not into sternum straps, that's great. All you do is you kind of pop this out right there, slide it out, and boom. It's one of the easiest and overall best sternum strap mechanisms that I have ever witnessed with my own eyes. And as always appreciated, you have a little excess circle nylon here, which helps combat the ever terrible dangle. Now, most of this review has been really positive towards the Boundary Supply system, but I will give some criticism right here with this side handle, because it sucks. I don't know what the point of this thing was. I don't know in what situation that I'm really going to grab this. Look at how thin that thing is. It looks like a little string bean. Like I'm supposed to grab this and this is going to be the way that I hold my bag from the side. Nah. And to keep our handle criticism consistent, let's take it to the top where we yet again have another average handle. Now here's the deal. You're looking at that handle and you're like, Aaron, there's no way that handle is average. Look at that handle. I've never been aroused by a handle before and I admit, It looks great. It's like the best looking handle I've ever seen. Boundary did a great job with their branding right there, and it's like this sleek, sort of a leathery vibe, and it looks great. Unfortunately though, it don't feel great. It's a little stiff for a handle in my opinion. I do like my handles to be a little bit more cushiony, you know? Like if you hold on to this thing for longer than 20, 30 seconds, it really just starts to get just annoying. And then the worst part about it is look at the size of the opening. This is really difficult to get your fingers in. And I've got little baby fingers and I still have a hard time getting it into there. It might not sound like a big deal, but think about it. This whole point of the top handle is quick grab. Like, oh God, guys, I'm coming, oh shit. And then like, you know, if this thing, you know, if you're really trying to like pry your hand in to actually get a good grab out of it, it kind of defeats the purpose of like the seamlessness of it. It's not uncomfortable, it's just like Boundary Supply did so great with this backpack and I wish that they didn't skimp on this because like if they didn't, I don't know what I would have to complain about with this backpack. Guys, the review is rolling along, but it is hot as balls out here. So let's take it downstairs to the co-working space. And from there, I'll let you know the overall pros and cons of this pack. And then most importantly, I'll let you know if I think if it's the pack for you. Let's do it. Let's chat about a few more things, starting with the overall pros and the overall cons of the Boundary Supply Prima System. Pro number one should be an obvious one. The most defining feature of this backpack is its incredible functionality and overall versatility. Even though this backpack is technically designed for photographers, anybody can get value out of it. Like your boy, I don't have a DSLR, I never take photographs. This is a top 3 day pack for me of all time. This enhanced functionality and overall awesomeness is due to the Fieldspace work system in the back tech compartment, as well as the Verge case located in the main compartment, plus everything else that pulls this bag together to be a perfect workstation for a photographer, a digital nomad, and everything in between. Overall pro number 2. This one is sort of in the same breadth, but also a little bit added on as to where just the overall features of the bag. Now, I was talking about in the previous point the functionality, but really this bag has got a lot of cool little things, whether it's the RFID safe pockets or whether you have the dual magnet system on the top quick access pocket, or even the hidden water bottle pocket. These nifty little features plus more are all really fun, but they're fun in a way that is enjoyable without compromising functionality. So yet again, if you like features, you like functionality, this is your boy. Overall pro number 3 is the look. Now, while I may have come across as a little critical saying it has the Indiana Jones sort of look, overall I'm a really big fan of the aesthetic and style of this pack. As a top-loading backpack, it has sort of a classic look to it, but you also have this main axis right here, as well as the side panel access, which overall just makes it look freaking awesome. And last, my overall pro number 4 is gonna be these awesome Fid Lock magnetic latches. I talked enough about them in the section. Overall, they're fun, they're functional, and they're just awesome. But while I'm super into this backpack, it's not without some criticism, and here are some of the overall cons of the Boundary Supply Prima System. Con number 1 is that while there's mad features on this, for the normal person, it's probably gonna be overkill. If you're looking for a work backpack or you're a photographer or digital nomad, all the excess stuff on here is gonna be awesome. But if you're simply looking for a backpack to get you from A to B on a day-to-day basis and just looking for something to carry a few bits of clothes and your keys, this is not it. Con number 2 that I have is actually this handle game. This guy right here, like we talked about it, looks sweet, doesn't function very well. It's too stiff and it's difficult to pry your fingers into. And for my third overall con for the Boundary Supply Prima System is gonna be these external materials. Don't get me wrong, they're good and they're durable. They'll last, but they're just kind of meh. They're not very memorable. There's no real story to them. It's really sort of common materials. It kind of looks like every backpack you ever used in middle school. This is gonna be a hardcore backpack nerd criticism, so don't worry about it too much. And ultimately, the exterior materials are still fine. I just sometimes wish that my exterior materials told a little bit more of a story. So, given the entirety of the review and all of the pros and all of the cons, we at Nomads Nation gave the Boundary Supply Prima System an overall score of 4.5 out of 5, which is tied for the highest score that we have ever given a backpack. All right, so let's sum everything up together, and I'm gonna tell you who I think this backpack is perfect for and who I don't think it's good for. This backpack is gonna be perfect for you if you are looking for an awesome day pack. Simple. This pack is also gonna be for you if you love and are looking for a ton of awesome features. As I've said a billion times, this backpack is feature heavy, so if that's what you're looking for. And finally, this backpack is gonna be perfect for you if you're a photographer, and I mean both an amateur photographer up to a professional photographer. Remember, I'm not a photographer and I don't carry any DSLR gear, so I haven't even begun to show you the capacity and what this thing is capable of for photographers. So if you're a photographer and you think this bag is awesome, I guarantee you it's going to be even 10 times more awesome. But now let's talk about who this pack is not for. This backpack is not for you if you're looking for a long-term, large travel backpack. Reason being is that even though the Boundary Supply Prima System is 31 liters and has the ability to expand to 36 liters, it's just too small. If you're looking for a long-term travel backpack, something to take for like longer than a week on the road, check out the links below. I've got some specific recommendations for you, and recently I've been finding some unbelievable backpacks that you'll love. The Boundary Supply Prima System is also not for you if you're looking for something smaller. What I mean by that is, like I said, backpacks that are in that 30 to 35 liter range are kind of awkward sometimes. Sometimes it's too big to be a day pack, but it's too small to be a travel pack. So if you're just looking for something simple and small, don't underestimate the size of this. It's a bulky kind of a big backpack if you're just looking for a small sort of everyday use pack. If that sounds like you're looking for something small, simple, 15, 20, 25 liter range, also check out the description below. I got some of my favorite day packs down there, and some of which are in that 15 to 25 liter range. And finally, this pack is not for you if you're looking for a super simple backpack. Ultimately, the Boundary Supply Prima System is feature heavy. It's not a minimalist backpack. If you're looking for a more minimalist day bag, check out the description in the bottom. I've got some recommendations down there for awesome minimalist day packs. And remember, we always ask, if you're gonna get this pack or any other packs, please use the links in the description. The reason is that it guarantees you get the best price and don't get ripped off, but it's also makes sure that we get a little bit of a kickback. And that kickback is what keeps the lights running, and it's what keeps Boris having cups of coffee. And no worries, if you're like, screw this bag, I ain't getting this bag, I ain't getting no backpacks. No problem, give us a like, give us a comment. While these videos are free to watch, they're not free to make, and those likes and those comments really help us boost us up in the YouTube algorithm, which gets us more views, and more views are awesome. All right, guys, we're done. We'll see you next time. Magnets are so cool. It's shooting in Vietnam, man. It's life or death. Whoa, magnets! And I'm like, I got little baby fingers, and I still have a hard time sliding them into this.